Hello guys, welcome back to Tech Projects. I am back with another video and this is the 10th part of Notes application using Firebase. So this part is going to be very amazing, most typical and most important part of the entire Notes series. So in this part we are going to fetch the data directly from Cloud Firestore to our recycler view. So this part is going to be very amazing and you will definitely learn something great in this video. But this is little bit typical part, so I will try to explain in most easiest way. So if you have any query after watching the video, then you can comment down below. Also, please like the video and subscribe the channel and share it with your friends. So now don't further delay, let's start this part. So for this I open my Studio. So first of all, if we want to fetch data directly from Cloud Firestore to our recycler view, so there are lots of methods to do this. So we are going to use Firebase recycler adapter to do this. So it is one of the most easiest way and also a little bit typical, but the code is very easy. So now first of all, if we want to use that method, then first of all we have to add the dependency. So open your build.gradle module app and here you have to add a dependency. So press enter first and make sure your internet connection must be on. Also one thing, I am going to add the latest version of dependency, which is currently the latest version. But if someone watches my video after 6 months or 1 year, so you have to add the latest version of dependency, and you can easily find the latest version of dependency from anywhere by searching it on Google. So now we see how to add this latest version. So simply type here implementation, then take 2 commas, and here you have to type com.firebase UI colon firebase dash UI dash firestore colon 4.1.0. so this is the latest version. Now I simply click on sync now. So let's wait and until the Gradle build. So the dependency set up correctly. So now I close this build.gradle module app and I also close this Android manifest.xml. So I also let's open this and leave it like now. Close this. Now first of all open your notes activity. So this is our notes activity and here we want to fetch all notes in the form of recycler view. So here we have to write the all code, so it is better to open this. Now also let's open your notes layout file. So this is our notes layout.xml. so I click on it and go to open. Now first of all we have to write some Java code and then I will tell you step by step everything. So first of all let's declare some variables, then we will write the code main. So first of all I declare the variable of recycler view type because I am going to use recycler view inside this activity, so I simply type here recycler view. Then you can give any variable name. I gave m recycler view, then semicolon. Now declare a variable of staggered grid layout manager. So before writing you can see this show an error, so click on it and press alt plus enter to import the recycler view. Error is gone. Now we have to need a staggered grid layout manager because I am going to use staggered layout inside our recycler view. So simply type here staggered. You can see it automatically shows session, press enter. Now give any variable name. I again give staggered grid layout manager. This is small s and then this is capital S. Be remember this is import statement and this is a variable name. So now after this declare a variable of Firebase user type. So simply type here Firebase user. Then give any variable name. I give Firebase user. That's it. Now declare the variable of Firebase firestore type. So Firebase firestore. Then again give any variable. I give Firebase firestore. Then semicolon. Now declare a variable of firestore recycler adapter type because this is the main variable. So simply when you type here firestore recycler adapter, and this is not going to work if you don't add the dependency. So be remember add the dependency. So I already added the dependency. You can see this is the dependency. So now we have to take 2 brackets this type of, then simply inside this you have to pass our data class which is known as model class for our recycler view. So I simply type here Firebase model. I don't create this class till now, but don't worry. Now one thing, I also want to pass another thing which is our note view holder. So I simply type here note view holder. So it also show an error, but I don't create this till now, so don't worry. We are going to solve every error. Now simply type here any variable name. I give note adapter. That's done. Now first assigning the Java Ids into Xml Ids. So for this we have to do some work and then we solve our all errors and all classes. So first of all, let let the get the instance of current user. So for this we have to simply type here firebase user equal firebase auth dot get instance dot get current user. So why this is? Because we are going to use the fetch the nodes of a particular user, not of the every user, or not whole database. So that's done. Now we have to also get the instance of firebase firestore to use the firebase firestore. So firebase firestore equal firebase firestore dot get instance, then semicolon. So you can see now it is fine. Now first create the model class for our recycler view. So for this we have to do some work, and we have to create a new Java class. So right click on your package name, then click on new, then select Java class and give the class name firebase model. But you can give any class name, but you have to change then class name here. So be remember, give the name which is pass I here. So I give the firebase model, then click on send. Okay. Now first of all I have to take here two parameter. So inside our nodes what we have a string, we have a title and content. So when I type here private string title and also private string, I give two variable content, but make sure you have to remember one thing here. So I open my create node activity and come here when I add the data to our firestore. So you can see this is our path of where I add the data, and I add the node dot put title, node dot put content. So be remember this name match with this firebase model name. So be remember this thing, this names must be match with these names. So if you give some different name here, then you have to give same name according to that. So I give here title and content, you can see. So I am going to use fetch from this data, so I again give here title and content. So make sure this name matches. Now we have to simply create an empty constructor. So simply type here public, then your class name which is our firebase model, then two braces, and that's done. So it's show an error. So let's see why it is error, because I declare the empty constructor outside of the bracket. So click on it and declare inside this bracket. So now that's done. Now we need a getter and setters. So first of all we have to declare, simply press alt plus insert, and when you type here getter and setter, click on it and simply select both using shift and then click on OK. So you can see now the getter and setters implemented successfully. Now also we need a constructor to store the values. So simply type here public, then your name, class name, then take a bracket, inside this simply type here string title, again give the same name string content, then two braces, and inside this you have to simply type here this dot title equal title and this dot content equal content. So our getter and setter created successfully, and firebase model.java class also created successfully, and you can see the one error is gone. Now we have to solve another error. So now the main code start from here. So whenever user come on this activity, first of all we have to load the data for that specific user from our cloud firestore. So for this we have to use query. So simply when you type here query, it automatically shows sensation, press enter. Now give any variable name, I give query, then you have to type firebase firestore dot collection, and simply you have to pass your collection name which is our nodes. Then you have to fetch the user for specific user, then you have to type document, and inside this you have to simply type here firebase user dot get UID. It will fetch the data for that particular user. Now we have to simply type here collection, and what is the collection name? Again my nodes. Then you have to simply type here dot order by. It order the nodes in ascending order, descending order, it is your choice, so how we want. So we have to simply pass here first parameter by which I want to assign the nodes. So I simply pass in double quotes title, I want to order my nodes by title, then comma, then direction. So I simply type here query dot direction and simply pass the direction. So ascending I pass, but you can pass any. Now be remember one thing here also here. So I minimize this from here first. So you can see this is our my nodes collection and the main collection is nodes. So what is this? So when I create the database on firestore and when I save the node, you can see this path must be matched with that nodes activity path. So you can see this is the nodes path, then I get the user ID for that particular user, and then I simply create a new collection for my nodes. So you make sure this path must be matched with this path. So this is nodes, then a user ID, then my nodes. So hopefully you understand how this code is work. So now I successfully get the note from our cloud firestore for that particular user. So now we have to simply assign that data to our recycler view. So for this, simply press enter first, then I have to type here Firebase firestore recycler options. So simply press enter. Now we have to, inside this we have to pass our data class Firebase model. Then you have to simply give any variable name. I give all user notes. You can give any variable name, then equal, then type new, then capital F and press enter. And inside this you have to pass your model class, which is our Firebase model. And after the options you have to type here dot builder. So that's done. Now we have to set the query. So set query, and inside this we have to pass our param name of query. So I simply type here query, and the second parameter is our model class Firebase model dot class, and then we have to simply build this data. So now we successfully get the data inside this variable, which is all user nodes, and simply we have to simply set that data to our recycler view. So press enter first. So now I already declare a variable of note adapter. Here you can see this is note adapter, so I am going to use this variable. So simply type here note adapter equal, then new, then firestore recycler adapter. When you type this, it will automatically write the whole code. So you can see it automatically write the whole code, which is our note view holder and on create view holder, on bind view holder. So as you already know, recycler view consists three things: on view holder, on create view holder, and on bind view holder. So it automatically create these options, but this still show error because I don't create the note view holder till now. I will create just right now. So before writing anything, first let's create our note view holder. So come here. So this is work as a function. So press enter first here. So make sure we have one bracket left. So you can see this bracket is for this override method, this bracket is for this override method, and this is our main bracket of whole code. So I have to simply leave one bracket at last. Now here I have to simply create our note view holder. So simply type here public class, then class name note view holder, then extends recycler view dot view holder. So that's done. Now take two braces, now click on it, and you can see it show an error. So simply click on create constructor matching super. So now whole error is gone. So first of all we have to declare two IDs. So when I type this private text view, so I need to type text view, then I simply give here note title. Later I will tell you what is the working of this IDs. Then private text view, then note content. So after this we have to also declare one ID for linear layout type, linear layout. Then after this give any variable name. I give mnote. Now what we have to do, we have to simply assign these IDs. So assign these Java ID with our XML ID. So simply type in note title equal item view dot find view by ID r dot id dot note title, then semicolon. Now we have to simply type here note content equal item view dot find view by ID r dot id dot note content, then semicolon. Now we have to simply type here mnote equal item view find view ID r dot id dot note. So what is this? R dot id dot note and note title note content. So let's open our notes layout dot xml. So I open it. So you can see I give the title ID here note title, and I give the for content ID note content. So if we want to set the data inside this recycler view, or we can say if we want to use that ID, then we have to assign these XML ID into Java ID. So that's done. So hope you understand. Now one ID is maybe wondering what is the note. So you can see this is linear layout type of note. So now I assign these all IDs inside this variable. So now we have to simply use that variable to store the data. So it show an error. So where it said expected this, and also okay, first it say to add a semicolon here. So I add a semicolon here. So you can see one error is gone. So now instead of return null, I have to simply delete this first, and here I have to type here view, then equal, then you have to type layout infilter. So if you don't know what is layout infilter and why we use note view holder, then I will easily explain everything in my recycler view tutorial. So you can check the tutorial in Android projects. So then you have to simply type here from parent dot get context, then you have to simply type here inflate, and it will bind the nodes layout with this. So I simply type here r.layout. And our nodes layout file name, then comma, then simply pass parent, and then comma, and then simply pass here false. And now we have to simply return this view. So return new note view folder, and inside this simply pass view, then semicolon. Now this work is complete and only one error is left. So it say expected one argument but 0 found. And inside this, why it is so? Because we have to pass, if we want to bind the data of recycler view inside our, so first of all we have to take a data. So where the all data is stored? So I already show you all data we successfully store inside this variable, which is all user nodes. So I have to simply pass here all user nodes. So that's done. Now our all error is gone. Now we have to simply set the data on side our recycler view. So for this I have to simply type here note view holder dot note title dot set text, and then we have to simply get the data from our model class firebase model. So I simply type here firebase model dot get title. So in place of title I want to set title, and in place of content I want to set content. Note view holder dot note content dot set text firebase model dot get content. So that's done. Now the work is complete. Now we have to set these data inside our recycler view, and we have to simply load our whole recycler view. So for this, what we have to do, come outside from this bracket, and we have to first assign the recycler view id into our main recycler view. M recycler view equal find view by id r dot id dot recycler view. So I already give the id recycler view in our nodes activity, if you may remember or not. So I open my nodes activity to show you. So this is our activity nodes, and here you can see I give the id name recycler view. I will try to explain everything in a very easy manner. Now we have to simply set the m recycler view dot set has fixed size, and simply pass it true. Then also we have to simply set the staggered grid layout equal new staggered grid layout. Inside this we have to pass our first parameter, which is a row. So I need 2 rows inside our grid layout. Then I need in vertical direction staggered grid layout dot vertical, then semicolon. Now we have to simply type here m recycler view dot set layout manager. Inside this we have to simply pass staggered grid layout manager. So that's done. Now after getting the whole data, we are successfully connect this data with this, and after this we have to simply set the whole data in our recycler view. So for this m recycler view dot set adapter, and inside this we have to pass our note adapter. So you can see now it is fine and everything is completed. So what is note adapter? This is a note adapter which contains all data and work with the recycler view to bind the data. So everything is fine, and now this code is complete. Now before checking the code, first of all we have to do some little work. So first of all we have to use 2 override method on start and on stop listening. So press enter first and simply @ override implement method, then simply type here on start, click on it, and when you type this we have to simply pass here. So what is this? Whenever user come from any activity to our activity, then we have to simply again load the recycler view. So for this is in start listening. That's done. Also we need a on stop method, so press enter. So I have also need one more method on stop listening. So I simply copy this code and simply paste this code here, and simply I replace it by on start to on stop, and instead of on start I simply type here on stop. So that's done. Now if instead of this I have to simply type here if note adapter not equal to null, it means it does not contain anything, then we don't need to this, and we simply stop the listening of our recycler view. Note adapter dot stop listening, then semicolon. So now our whole code is complete. Now it's time to check our app whether it is working or not. So for this I already use debugging mode. So I have to connect my phone, and then I have to press on run button. So I successfully connect my phone. So don't skip the video here if something problem occur, because this is some lengthy code and typical code. So if some problem occur, then we have to change the code. So for this don't skip the video. So I press on run button, and the grid will start building. So I click on build. So now our build successful. So there is no error. So now let's see there is a error occur on runtime or not. So it will install the application in my phone. So now app installed successfully. So now first I will sign in with my account. So Brijesh Kumar 70002, and I fill my email 1234567 my password. So after this I have to click on login, and let's see I get the notes or not. So I click on login. So I am logged in successful, and now I get the all nodes. So you can see this is our first title, which is our first node. This is our second node. So this is notes app tutorial, and you can see now it was work fine. And if I click on plus, and now let's add one more nodes, third, and this is third node. Then click on save. So you can see now node created successfully, and this is our third node. So it does not come on to the right position, and it will successfully fetch the node from our recycler view, but it not working properly. You can see it will two nodes display here and then one node display here. So we have to also add a background color. So let's fix it. So first of all, I have to change the background color. So I will change the background color of all nodes at runtime, and this I will write that code on the next part. Just for checking, I will simply add a normal background color. So I come inside our nodes.layout file, and first I add padding. Simply add a padding of 15 dp is fine here. Then I simply come here, now come down and click on this title and simply add a background color. So I simply type here background, and I simply pass here teal 700. So this is fine. I come here. For now it is just for checking purpose, I pass this color, and simply I type here background teal 200. So I pass this and I pass this color. Now let's again run this application, whether it is working or not, and now how it is looking. So our app again built successful. Now you can see the color comes successfully here, but the problem is again I get only two nodes on a single screen, and the third node is on next screen. Now let's add fourth node. So if I type here title, give fourth, and if I give the content here fourth content, then if I click on save, so the node created successfully. Now you can see this is fitted according to our title. So the preference of f is come first, then you can see first title of node, fourth node, then second node, then third node. So all nodes come, but the problem is that I get only two nodes on a single screen, but I need all nodes just by one by one. So let's see, I do a little bit silly mistake, and I have to check what is the mistake. So I have to check the code. So the problem is that I get only one node on a single screen. So the problem is very silly, and you can see I give the layout height match parent, and instead of layout height match parent I have to give rep content. It depends according to on content. So I simply type here rep content. Now you can see it is fine. Now if I run this application, it will work fine. So maybe you wondering how I easily identify this problem. So if you do practice, then you can easily identify what is the problem. So now after running this app, let's see whether it is working or not. So now the grader will finish, and it will install the application inside our phone. So now application installed successfully, and successfully I come on my screen, and you can see now our all four nodes display on a single screen. So if I add one more node, let's suppose if I give the title fifth, and let us suppose if I enter some more content like more 3, 5, 8, right? I type anything, it is your choice, you can type anything. Now if I click on save, you can see our staggered layout is work fine, and it automatically assign the nodes in a ascending order according to titles. So first capital F, then S, then T. So you know the ABCD. So now it is work fine. So this is the over for this video. In the next part we will see how to give the random color to every node, and also I will set an on-click listener to this menu icon, and also I will set the on-click listener to every node. So there are some. So maybe in our notes app series may be completed in 2 or 3 parts. So only 2 or 3 parts is left. Now our main work is complete, and every main work is complete now. So I hope you learned something great in this video and in the most easiest way. So if you have any query, you can simply comment down below. I try to give the answer of every comment. Please like the video, and subscribe the channel and share it with your friend. So thank you. See you soon in next video. Thank you.